Other resources on the website. Our website, don't forget that website. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. Via email is best. You can call, but I try to ignore my phone as much as possible. I would much prefer you reached out with emails, because I can forward those to Neil and make him answer them. No, actually, I will answer your emails if they come. So, questions about how it all, yes?
Well, you know, since we're talking 10 to 20K or 5K in awards money, what would be your incentive to grow jobs in the area? Whenever you're looking at a project, feasibility?
Are you about our incentive or your incentive?
Your incentive.
Oh, why do we run this?
Yeah, or why would you, what would you like to ultimately get out of this as a
So
community?
we're trying to create a vibrant entrepreneurial
Job.
ecosystem. So it's jobs.
Jobs.
But even
Not
more
just
than
jobs.
specifically jobs,
Career.
it's businesses, seeing innovative businesses start up in the area.
An ecosystem, right? You have lots of smart, interested, engaged people doing interesting things. You have other smart people coming to learn and find out about it. You have people that care about each other. You basically lift the entire community. You have new ideas showing up that invigorate your mind. You have economic vitality that comes with it, social vitality that comes with it. People are more interested in each other. You have a better educational system. That means you have fewer poorer people, and that means you have more people prepared to live, good lives with each other. There's every kind of beneficial value you can think of in doing this sort of thing.
I actually spent the last week in New Orleans.
I live
And
here.
it was really interesting being in New Orleans, which is still recovering from Katrina. The amount of building and new businesses and things that are starting in New Orleans right now is amazing. It's actually a pain in the neck if you're trying to get around, because there's construction everywhere.
How's the Ninth Ward?
We didn't get down to the Ninth Ward. I wanted to get down there, but we didn't get over there. The Ninth Ward is, they're struggling. But there's stuff going on there too.
Yeah.
And a good part of this has been the building of accelerators visited to one called Ideal Village and another called Propeller that's oriented around social ventures. And they're spinning out businesses and helping people get this up and rolling, and it's really cool.
Just general vitality of a community.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Well, and if you think about the university is planning on growing and significantly.
We need jobs for our
And
students.
we need jobs for our students, and we're graduating very talented people, and they want to stay in their region, so, so that's another reason.
It's a great partnership for the community. Great partnership. Oh. Sorry.
Other questions? Any questions about your business relative to applying and issues you're having around thinking through?
I have an LLC that's based in Connecticut. From an investment standpoint, would one want to see Delaware, or Las Vegas, or?
It's trivial to change that if that's important, so don't worry about it.
Is there any help from a regulatory framework perspective? Any business venture that you're thinking of requires a lot of regulatory help? Is there any help in that?
If you reach out to us, we will try to find somebody who's got expertise in that area and get you connected with them. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big part of what we're trying to do, is make those kinds of connections.
Brad, you haven't mentioned sort of the folks that attend these things, the judges and the other folks that show up, and maybe it'd be a good idea to tell them about the variety of people and their knowledge and how that all.
So in terms of who shows up as judges and who
Mentors
shows up as
and judges, yeah.
mentors and audiences. So the judges, we use mostly but not entirely regional judges, but there's a lot of people with a tremendous amount of experience in this area. So the judges are, probably most of them have been involved in one or more entrepreneurial ventures themselves, so they understand what it is to start a business. We do use some faculty members. Now, Al, you qualify at both because you've been a faculty member and you started, how many businesses? Been involved in?
3.
Only 3?
Only 3.
Amateur.
No, but just from talking to you, it always seems like, because you get involved in so many different things.
Well, I've done
You see
international
lots of
business
different-
development, so, you know, that's $50 million of development, so that's no slouch, it just wasn't mine, but I developed it. I started a business here in Marina, a $10 million company, and then my European partner decided he got cold feet, pulled out, all right, it shut down, no problem. I had a small retail operation in the Bay Area, sold it, you know, and that's when I moved here. This is my 4th year doing startup, so I've been around the block every single year I've been here, so I really like it a lot. There's a lot of energy.
You have lawyers.
With folks who are lawyers, accountants, from every walk of business life.
Engineers,
Let's talk about your
scientists.
background a little bit more, because you're on the science side, so you bring some pretty
Is that what I am?
sophisticated.
Yeah, you don't want to go into my background, but there are lots of fabulous people. There are people who have built, in some cases, businesses that have sold for billions of dollars. There are people, you talk about regulatory stuff, there are attorneys there that are international lawyers that participate, intellectual property lawyers, not so many, slip and fall lawyers. We have insurance lawyers that will help us get insured against slip and fall.
And people who are on the investment side, who are investing in businesses, or helping businesses to get investment.
People from Central Coast Angels, from Angels by the Sea, from
Keiretsu Forum.
obviously Keiretsu Forum, at least 5 or 6 other angel groups will be
Yeah,
there.
you got Boggs, so.
Yeah, Chuck's in there. So a wide variety of very experienced, very talented people.
So if
Who
you
are
ask
very
for help,
much into this in the same way so you asked the question, why are they into it? Well, into it to make money, to make a living, but people who are much more interested in just seeing businesses grow. Like for me, I just love seeing businesses grow. And I wouldn't do it for free because I can't afford it.
retired people from like the Stanford Business Group and
Yeah.
other business groups, people who spend their retired lives, because they hit 40 and they were billionaires, they spend their retired lives helping startups for free. A lot of them work for SBDC, right? So and they're not doing it for the money because the Small Business Development Center, I understand, pays $40 an hour.
But
PhD
just to be
and
clear,
40
the
years of
Small Business
experience.
Development Center is free to the businesses who use it.
Yeah.
So that's a fabulous resource.
Out of these companies that you showed on the slide, the logo slide, did any of those get angel investors? Or?
Yes.
Yes.
They'll-
No.
You
already had it.
Did
You passed it.
You went back.
No, I didn't pass
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
There
That-
you
it.
go.
Right there. I knew where I was. This one has more.
You're both
Brett-
right.
Carmel Honey is out getting money right now. Water City has raised a little over $1 million. Yoderm has raised somewhere around $500,000 so far. Those are the ones that I know of. Katie, that's our Main Street business, so she started that mostly on her own nickel plus what she won in a competition. Laurel had some outside funding, but I don't know how much. So
So these are businesses of all different sizes?
all different sizes and types, yeah.
What's Katie's cold press? Is that like a juice?
Juice, yeah, cold pressed juice, organic, really good stuff.
I think a resource, well, I know a resource we didn't mention, and a resource that I use on this peninsula is PTAC. There is an organization, I think they relocated over to UC Invest now, right? That is, like SBDC, is solely focused on helping you get government contracts. And if you're a woman, if you're not a white Caucasian, they love you, okay? But it's a very laborious process, and so we have PTAC over at UC Invest to guide us through. If you're a Latina woman, you're golden.
Especially with
But you don't have to be any of those. White males are acceptable.
But anyway, there are more contracts than you can throw a stick at. They they all are not granted.
Like millions and millions
Oh.
of dollars of
Oh, yeah,
contracts.
and the
they've gotten
Defense
for
Department
companies in this
is
area.
throwing so much money at contracts, the largest expenditures ever. We do it on the cyber side, my company. But that's a really neat resource. You get in with a very large government contract, proof of, sales. You're pretty good for a long time, because once you've learned to jump through the hoop, and the hoops are thick hoops. But once you learn to jump through them, and if you need help jumping, PTAC is there,
Yeah.
okay?
Learning how to do the paperwork,
That's it.
unbelievably.
How do you
Persistence and patience.
PTAC.
AC.
Is that the GSA schedule? Is
No.
that G?
The GSA schedule is one way to get
That's just
federal
right.
money, that's just set, that has set prices for time and material or specific items that are listed.
Yeah.
But there's lots and lots of contracts.
If you want,
that
if you
aren't
want to
paid.
see the site that offers up all of the contracts that the government offers, it's fedbizops.com, or .gov, .gov, fedbizops.gov.
Yeah, that
And
has
the
all
list
the
just goes,
opportunities except the ones that you can't find it.
but that's the resource.
And what would be the certification to be a vendor, a qualified vendor?
Oh, you just have to read the applications.
So,
And PTAC is the organization
Yeah.
that helps.
Good, so
with
go
Correct.
talk to PTAC.
Yeah.
250-page form.
Oh, yes.
that. Yeah.
Not to get into PTAC, that's.
But, so the resources on this are we have private sector, and we have public sector, and we have community sector. You've got a lot on this
Lots of
peninsula.
support for nonprofits.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you are, there are people here trying to help
Yeah.
improve and grow those businesses.
Fantastic.
CSUMB sits in the center, and we have two words, and they're part of IIED, economic development. That is what this peninsula is all about, and CSUMB and SBDC and PTAC are trying to drive economic development. We want to be the next Silicon Valley.
Yes.
So,
Well, no, we don't want to be as crowded.
now it's crowded, but we want the train to come down
Silicon
here.
Valley without the traffic, the
Yeah, right.
high housing prices,
All right, we want to be a clean tech, and he's driving clean tech.
Blue Green Company.
Yeah.
all right, well, we'll be happy to talk to anybody individually.
Don't forget about the.
Evaluation
Oh,
form.
yes, thank you.
There's
Somewhere
some
here, there's an
blank
evaluation.
evaluation forms in the,
We would really appreciate it if you would take a moment to fill out the evaluation. And as I said, if you have questions, feel free to talk to any of
Never go to a
us.
meeting without
Reach out
2
to
pins.
me, and we really hope to see you be a part of the challenge this year.
Or develop, even if you aren't part of the challenge, because we really want your businesses to succeed.
Yes, absolutely.